Hello everybody, this is Kyrix with another episode of This Week in Kyrix. Today, by about 9 minutes, is technically Thursday, March 21st of 2019, but this is for the week of Wednesday, March 20th of 2019, which is what it was 10 minutes ago. You know, because it's like 12:09 right now. It's kind of been a hell of a thing, not gonna lie. It's been a week. It's been a bit of a week, yeah. Okay. So, still haven't seen any of my movies. Still didn't see Captain Marvel. Still didn't see How to Train Your Dragon. Wonder Park came out this week. Didn't see that either. Wanted to see them all. Couldn't. So, I don't know if I covered this yet. So, let's pretend I didn't and cover it now. I want to say it was, fuck, what was my last day off? Before Saturday. I think it was like Thursday or something. No, it wasn't Thursday. I think it might have been Wednesday or Monday. Either way, you know what, I think it might have been Monday. No, it wasn't Monday. Hold on. Sorry, Kyrix is retarded. I have to look this up now, because this is bugging me. Also, what's bugging me is my back. Give me a second here. My back is bugging the shit out of me. It's itching like crazy. I'll get into why in a minute. There's actually a really good, not nasty reason for it. That'll help for a little bit. So yeah, it looks like it was Wednesday. Anyway, Wednesday I was off, and I did all the typical Kyrix is off work things, you know, like nothing and more nothing, and some video games followed by yet more nothing. You know, typical me shit. And, wish I could remember where the fuck the buckets were. And at some point I decided, hey, I'm going to go see Captain Marvel in HD, or not HD, in 3D&D box. And of course I'm thinking to myself, that's a good idea, I should do that. And you know what, it was a pretty good idea. Unfortunately my bike had other plans, because the night before I had been biking home, what the fuck is wrong with me? Anyway, I'd been biking home the other day, and bike was making all kinds of funny noises, like bikes do when you break them. And turns out, we're pretty sure that I cracked my axle. So I had to call in Reaper, you know, the guy who does the Adventures of Frank and Jay with me, and basically tell him, hey, is there any way you could give me a ride for the next couple days from work, you know, because I could take the bus there, but the bus stops running. So I need transportation and all. He's like, yeah, man, but what about your bike? And I'm like, I don't know. So basically his wife and him spotted me the money to get it repaired, and I'm going to pay it back to him on the 4th. And that's cool. So, I found this out, though, when I was on the way to Captain Marvel. I got part way to the theater, like, to the first light, and realized that my bike was riding really badly. And it didn't take me too long to figure out what the problem was, that I'd cracked the axle. You know, because I've done that once before. I've broken a bike in just about every way it's possible to break a bike, so I'm pretty in the know about what's wrong with the fucking thing these days. You know what I mean? I've got a pretty good handle on exactly how much damage I did to the poor thing. And anyway, so I didn't see it. And then Tuesday, my bike was actually fixed. Because they just put a whole new back rim on it. And I had a chance to go see Captain Marvel. And I was gonna. I was all set to do it, and then I stepped outside and it was still fucking drizzling. And I didn't feel like riding through any kind of rain. So, I missed it again. So what I'm going to do is I'm not going to see it in 3D&D box probably, which upsets me. But what can you do? What I am likely to do, however, is see if there's any kind of a 10 o'clock showing I can catch. Any kind. Even if it's just a normal digital. And I'm just going to catch it then. Before work. And ditto for any other movies I want to see, which a lot of them do have 10 o'clock showings. And if they're not too long, I could go slightly later, because I don't really have to leave the house until almost 1 p.m. So. But, missing Captain Marvel wasn't the only thing I did Tuesday. But while we're on the subject, because it's itching again, why is my back itching? Well, my back is itching because it's recovering from a sunburn. A mild sunburn, mind you, but it still itches. Because I went to Adventure Island Saturday, and it was fun, but I have learned an important lesson, that lesson being to never, ever, oh, there's still a corpse in there, to never, ever go to Adventure Island at the start of the season ever again. Ever, ever, ever. First off, they're still training all the new people. It was a total clusterfuck every time we interacted with an employee. Basically, at the start of the night, or start of the day rather, we had to show our tickets, or in our cases, our platinum passes, to this person at the gate. And my friend's wife went first, and what the fuck just happened? Anyway, she went first, and they basically told her that her ticket was expired, which is bullshit, because she's had it for all of 2 weeks. And it's an annual pass. So there's no fucking way that it's expired. Now, her husband and I got through with no problems. She got completely boned. You know. I mean, granted, they still let her in, but it was more headache than it needed to be. So the next thing that could go wrong, and did, was we wanted to rent our cabana. She had already pre-rented it online. But for some reason their internet was all fucked up, because, you know, who wants functional internet when the park's open? And, yeah. So that took us another 15 minutes or so to solve. And we went to lunch, and we rented our cabana, which means that we had access to these little free meal cards. Basically, it's kind of like the meal pass that I had at SeaWorld, except instead of an entree, a dessert or side, and a drink every hour, it was a one-time entree and drink, which is still fine. I mean, for whatever reason, none of us were super hungry at Adventure Island compared to SeaWorld. But he could not make heads or tails of the passes, even though we each went individually. Like, she went first, then he went, then I went. Couldn't make heads or tails of the fucking passes. Which, by the way, were distributed by the park, so there's no excuse for him not knowing this shit. Then she wanted to add desserts onto the thing with the little what the fuck game. She wanted to add desserts on with her little credit card bracelet, where you basically link this bracelet to your debit card and it does things. You know, you just scan it and set up on your card every time. And anyway, that took him forever to figure out as well. Also, there was this one pool that several slides led out in. And when we went in October last year, there were people actively swimming in the damn thing. You know, like actually hanging out in the pool kind of thing. And I basically was standing on the stairs in the water trying to adjust. And 2 different lifeguards basically told me I couldn't stand there, and it took every ounce of willpower not to fucking cuss them out. Because what the fuck, man? You're gonna tell me I can't stand in the stairs. Now, on the one hand, I can almost see what they're thinking, like, oh, this is a safety hazard. 5 different slides led out into that pool. Which is true, they did. But I was on the stairs. Let's just say if someone comes careening off that slide and smacks into me, I'm not the injury they need to worry about. They need to worry about the person who just came off a slide hard enough to shoot across the pool and collide with concrete stairs. Whoa! Bad kitty! I put my back scratcher on the desk and the little bitch just teetered it off like she's like, no! It's not a toy. Like she's playing hockey or something. Psst, get down! But yeah, the issue with Adventure Island, and it's kind of a big issue, is that it was warm enough that, you know, we were able to dry off after every single ride with no problems. The problem was it wasn't warm enough to keep the water warm. But again, it was warm enough to dry us off. Which means that every single time we would get out of a slide, or get out of a pool, or get off a slide, and walk to the next pool or slide, we would be completely dry by the time we reached it. Now, on the off chance that some of you people aren't swimmers, or at least not regular swimmers who swim often, like I try to be, and I am whenever I have access to a pool. Water is cold, especially at theme parks. Water is really goddamn cold. Now, if the sun is out a lot, and the sun is high and it's hot out, the water will be nice and warm when you get into it. And if you're in water long enough, you will adapt to the point where it doesn't feel too cold to you, unless the temperature drops throughout the day, which it eventually will as the sun goes down, you know. So what this means is, because we dried off after each time, every time we had to get into a new pool, it would start the whole process of freezing our asses off all over again. So I would spend the better part of 20 minutes trying to get used to one pool, then get out, go into another pool, and do the same fucking thing. I mean, at least with the slides, there was no cool down period. You just froze your ass off and that was it. Plus, the slides, as a rule, tended to be a little warmer, just based on the fact that they had a much smaller surface area to them, you know. Granted, the water was running, but it was also constantly cycling, and it was cycling in very small areas. So it didn't turn out nearly as bad as, say, the lazy river or the wave pool did. And I kept joking because someone made the crack earlier about the water only being warm in spots because they peed. So throughout the entire day, if it was cold, I kept saying, there's not enough pee, there's not enough pee, we need more pee. But, I mean, it was fun, don't get me wrong. Although it sucked when it rained on us. And you think, Kyrix, you're already wet, why would you care if it rained? I thought the same thing, until it rained. Because the rain was very cold. To the point where said freezing thing was like fucking bath water when I got in it. I didn't want to get out. But it was a lot of fun, and I will be going frequently throughout the year because I have an annual pass. It literally costs nothing but gas to get in that park. And so far, my friends have not asked me for any form of gas money, so. Plus, my job's been going fairly well, So I'll probably be keeping that job, which means that I will have money. Oh, now I'm so pissed that I walked all that way for no goddamn reason. That I apparently could have just walked straight through here with relatively clean feet. Oh well, I'll learn the map eventually. So, Tuesday, I had a Heroclix match. It was a sort of come out of retirement for one night match, and they kept teasing me the whole night, telling me, don't call it retirement, you know, you're just taking a break. And I'm like, no. Unless a set comes out that really fucking grabs me, I'm done. You know? For one thing, I can't get accurate reads on my day off until, like, 6 months have passed. So, I mean, there's not much point in me committing to tournaments that I can't fucking go to. And, when the 6 months are up, my priorities are Pokemon. I mean, yeah, if we get into a situation where it's late enough that I can still go to Pokemon and get to Clicks, then I will. But it's not, you know, it's not a big thing. It's not a huge priority for me to play Clicks. But as I was warming up for this, or not warming up, but, you know, gearing up for this, I'm thinking, I wonder if I still got it. And the answer is yeah, I totally still got it. Using borrowed figures that I just kind of half-assed a team together with, I took 3rd place. I went 2-1. And my one loss was by 10 points. So that's close enough that you could almost call that a win itself. And as a sort of a moving thing, we all tried, well, not me for various reasons, but we all tried to buy out what remaining Clicks the store owner had in stock. The judge bought most of them and handed a bunch out, including to me, which I took for whatever reason. I have no idea why. You know, just in case. But I even took one of the Wonder Woman things and immediately gave it to another one of the players because he asked for it, you know. Well, technically he asked for the one that Anubis had or that I had, and I just gave him mine because he was going to trade for it, but dude, I'm not playing anymore. What do I need with it, you know? And they were saying, well, you could come back and play. I'm like, yeah, but if I do, it's probably not going to be with Wonder Woman figures. You know? Not saying that the Wonder Woman figures are garbage, but by the time I finally play again, if I ever do, they're going to be obsolete. They just are. The power creep is going to be so intense that it just, no. But it was fun as a one-time thing. So, in a week or so, I'm going to have that Star Trek tournament that I, 2 weeks actually, now I remember 2 weeks, that I was gearing up for with the Tholians. I have to talk to my roommate to have him order the ships I need off of Amazon because he has Amazon Prime, so he might get a discount and he will get the free shipping. Or rather the free 2-day shipping or whatever it is. So I'm guaranteed to get the figures in time. That being said, I'm going to make absolutely certain before I order them that this is something that's going to happen. Because I'm going to say, basically, I am not going to go through all this shit just to show up and be the only one there again. This better happen. Because I'm going to be spending about $70 on ships. And I got a day off, which actually, as it turns out, cost me a day of work. Like, they didn't just add it, or they didn't just make it one of my 2 days off, they added it to my 2 days off. Which I'm not complaining about. I really could use a third day off in a week. Once. But keep in mind, that day, that tournament is costing me $70. $73, basically. To stay home from work to play that tournament is costing me $73 plus the ship. So that's basically $150 plus the tournament fee that this is costing me. So they better be holding it, because if not, I'm just going to see about going to one of the theme parks again, you know. Or even stay home and play video games or some shit. So on the subject of work, things have actually been picking up for me. I'm typically the slowest guy there, but for the past couple nights, I've been finishing early. And tonight we even did 2 whole aisles. You know, my aisle plus the cereal aisle. And there's actually a reason for it. It's not that I'm getting better, it's that something has changed. I was about to say you may recall, but that episode hasn't gone up yet. But basically, you may recall that I mentioned one of the nights that the grocery truck came stupidly late, and they had nothing for us. Well, it turns out the grocery truck coming stupidly late is just how things are now. So, on a single day, or on a single truck day, it's going to be pretty common that I'll just have a cart, or maybe 2 carts of shit to clean up, all the way until lunch. And then after lunch, the other carts come out. And there's usually not too many of those. So as a result, I'm actually able to keep a handle on shit. Like, I can just, no, don't you trip that. I can actually get all my shit together. Which is remarkable, because it means that I can finish on time, or at least close enough. Close enough that I don't think I'll run the risk of being written up, and if I'm not written up, I'm not in danger of losing my job, because, well, I'm not planning to commit any kinds of felonies, and I'm not planning on missing any days of work. You know, so. I mean, those are the 3 criteria for getting me fired. Fuck it. At this point, what's the... Why? I'm not gonna question it. Just gonna fucking go on with my day. It's not worth obsessing over. It's just a leg stuck to a wall. Shit happens. Shit happens. Legs stick to walls. That could have been Spider-Man's leg in there. Who knows? So yeah, things are picking up for me a bit. Presumably Monday when I'm off, I'm gonna have my friend over here, and we're gonna do, well, I'm gonna have him do yard stuff this week. I don't know when. And then I'm just gonna have him come up and hang out and do video game stuff with me as well. Don't fucking obsess over it, dude. Like, we'll do more Frank and Jay, which is going to be fun for us both. At this point, I really doubt any episodes of Frank and Jay have gone up yet, so I would not be entirely surprised, you know, assuming that I had real viewers for this, if I got a comment like, what the hell is this Frank and Jay you keep talking about? It's a little side project and not quite Let's Play thing that I'm doing. where a friend of mine and I are co-oping a game together. And eventually, when I get the setup for a capture card, I'm going to do a lot of the Resident Evil games with them. Like, I'm going to do Res Rev 2, Res 5, Res 6, etc. All the two-player shit, basically. Like, I'm going to get the... I'm going to probably get the digital download versions, because they're not that expensive. Might even get them next month. And I'm going to play through them myself, just, you know, because, to see if there's any... oh, you can't see this cutscene moments. And if there aren't, then we will just record it via the PlayStation itself. And if they are, then I'm going to have to get a capture card. I don't think there will be for 5, 6, and Res Rev 2, because they were on the PS3. You know? But that remains to be seen. And Res Rev 2 will be a full set of playthroughs. Like, we will do the story mode together, because he hasn't seen it. We will do a sweep through the story mode to get everything again, 100% it, just so he can do that with me. And then we will do all the two-player shit that I promised that Anubis and I were going to try and do, that never materialized. Because it's a pain in the ass to get him where I live now. And, where's my... oh. Like, we're gonna do... first, we're gonna do the, timed mode. Or no, we're gonna do invisible enemy mode, probably, and then time mode. I haven't decided yet, because it's not important yet. But that's also part of the reason that we're playing through the game twice together, so that when we do invisible enemy mode, we both have in our mind an idea of where the enemies are, so that I, as player 2, can show him where they are, and he can take them out. And that way he'll have practice with all the various ways he can take them out. And time attack mode will be the last thing we do, because by that point we'll have gone through the game 3 times, and we'll have had it about as down pat as we can. You know. I want us to have our shit together for that. But it's a fantastic game. It's one of my favorites in the Resident Evil series. It's funny, I kind of like all the ones people hate and hate the ones people love. Like, everyone loves 4. I'm not a fan, and that was before my mental breakdown. And if you're wondering what my mental breakdown was, you obviously are new to this channel. Because my Resident Evil 4 breakdown was kind of legendary. With Anubis snarking at me the whole fucking time, mind you. And that's when Skinner wasn't along for the ride doing it too. Those two were such total assholes. But that was what they were there for, you know. Because the whole point of including Anubis in the thing was to eventually get him to the point where he could do cooperative play co-commentary with me. Which, sadly, never really went anywhere. I mean, that's not to say we didn't do anything, because we did. We did Resident Evil 5 about half to 2/3 of the game. But, yeah. For various reasons, it just didn't pan out. Part of it was getting him over there and getting him to record and shit. Because most of the time when he came over, it was to play Kyrix or something. And when I moved to the apartment, it got even harder to get there. And then I moved here to St. Pete, and it was just off the table entirely. I think he's been here once, if that. You know. Or rather, he's been here once, if that, by himself. Like, without someone driving him here. Plus, my room's kind of harder to be in now because if you aren't used to pets, it's got a lot of pet odor to it because just based on the fact that my pets live in here. Like, their litter boxes are in here, so even when they're clean, that exists. You know what I mean? Whereas at the trailer, Keith's litter box was in the bathroom on the other end of the house, and he could just come and go as he pleased. And in the apartment, well, in the apartment I could lock Keith out of the room if I had to. And I think there were other litter boxes as well. I don't remember. It's been a while. But, yeah, here the roommate's kind of obsessed with smell, and he doesn't want their litter boxes out in the house. Plus, I'd have to lock them out to do my recordings, which isn't really viable. So yeah, expect in the future Resident Evil playthroughs with me and Reaper. At some point, one of Eisen's friends is going to co-comp the Shantae games with me, but I have to record them all first. Part of the problem is just my schedule, you know? Because right now, I'm in the process of recovering from what I refer to as 10 years of broke. Because I have been broke for a long, long time. So all my money is basically going to bills right now. Except for my my disability check, which is going towards fixing big shit. Like, next month, it's going towards the pets' vet payments and shit. As well as getting them new bowls and new litter boxes. Because I want them to have feeder dishes so that while I'm out of the house at work, because they used to eat at 8 or 9 o'clock, now they're eating at almost midnight, because that's when I get home. Well, if I can get them auto feeder bowls, they'll eat at 8 or 9 whenever I decide to set it for, whether I come home on time or not. And that's just great for everyone. Because that means that if an opportunity for overtime arises, I don't have to sit there and think, gee, I really would love to make this extra money, but the girls are hungry, you know. So, yeah, it just works out better for everyone that way. But the other thing is, right now, because I'm having to fix so much shit and replace so much shit, and I've been broke for so long and basically stuck at home all the time for 5 years, I'm also, my days off are spent doing anything but recording. Like, I'm running errands, or in some cases I just sleep. And a couple times I just played the PS4 all day because I barely get to enjoy it. I get a couple hours at night and a couple hours in the morning, and that's it, you know. And this whole setup cost me like $500, and I barely get to use it. And then there's the fact that I have those annual passes, so anytime a Saturday opens up, I try and get with my friend and his wife to go to a theme park. So that's also a thing. Which means that every single Saturday I've had has just been completely tied up. It's like, oh, this was a Saturday. Guess I'm going to Adventure Island or SeaWorld, you know? Which, again, isn't a bad thing. It just means that I have less time for recording. And then once the recordings are made, it's a process of getting them to him, and then recording our audio, and then me figuring out how to sync and do the editing and shit, unless I can get Eisen to do it for us. Which might be possible. So yeah, there are several games in the works. I've got to work on Cuphead, because that's a thing I've been putting off again. I've got to get my capture card booted up and finish off Metal Gear. I've got to do, what the hell was it I started? There was a thing I started, I don't remember what it was. Star Ocean, I got to get Star Ocean done. There's the DLC, which I'll finally be able to afford for XCOM 2, that I want to do as well, with new missions and shit. I mean, there's a lot of stuff I want to do, and eventually I will. I promise that. And I gotta look up how vacation works, because I don't know if a low-end schlub like me gets vacation time, or when that would be. But odds are pretty good that when and if I do get vacation time, that's gonna be a time when I'm really gonna get my nose to the grindstone and get shit done. Because recording is still a good priority for me, I just don't know where to go with it yet. Plus there's stuff I want to do with Subnautica, you know. Because that's a game I own. And it does technically have an ending, and the ending's not impossible to get. Like, I could probably beat the game in relatively simple amounts of time once I learn where everything is, you know. It's just a matter of getting to that point, figuring out where everything is, where it goes, etc. And honestly, half of Subnautica is, you know, the adventure of it, the exploration of it. I don't honestly know if Subnautica would be as big a draw for me as it was for other people. Because A, the game's been out for a while, the game's complete, you know. And I'm not going in blind. I've seen Markiplier play through the whole thing. So half the fun from, say, Markiplier was the fact that he was going in blind. I mean, he'd have tips like, oh, you people were telling me about this thing that was here, I'm going to go try and show that off, kind of thing. But then there was the fact that the game was being built as he was playing it. So from one episode to the next, there would be entirely new features unlocked that weren't there last month, you know. But you never know, it could be a huge draw. I mean, it never ceases to amaze me how well my Pokemon videos do whenever they're played. I mean, saying any of my videos do well that are gameplay related is a bit of a stretch, but the Pokemon games do consistently pull higher numbers than anything else I do. So, yeah. So we're going to save and I'm going to call it here because I'm still a bit sick My voice is going, if I'm sure you noticed. But I'm a bit sick. I'm getting a bit of a cold. And there isn't a fuckload I can do about that right now, so it just is what it is. And I will see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody.